Right. Howdy, howdy. What's going on, y'all? Welcome. It is Z-Rex. No noise. It's actually a Thursday today. A little off schedule. Sorry about that. We ended up staying an extra day at the coast with my son. I thought I was going to be back Wednesday to do a show, but we ended up staying all day and drove in super, super late. Got back at like 2 in the morning or something. But anyway, good time. We're doing a catch up stream for yesterday because there is plenty of price action to talk about. I've been a little disconnected for the last week and a half just with a couple early summer travel plans we had just before the sun gets real beast mode down here. Anyway, though, y'all don't care about that. We're here to talk about charts and price action. So, welcome. Let's go ahead and start with Mama Bear. Let's see here. Let's make sure all my stats look good. All right. Looks like the mic is good. I like that. All right. Noiz. Awesome. So, Mama Bear, man, stuff is moving all over the place today. So, I can't wait to talk about some traditional markets because we're actually getting some breakage. And actually, the breakage has been happening on some stuff, but not everything. Bitcoin's still pretty much sideways for the most part. You can see we're kind of making a little triangle here, kind of like oh God, come on, let's click the right buttons here. Kind of making a little symmetrical triangle here. So that's a pretty neutral pattern. Definitely leaning slightly bullish as we have been, as long as we're kind of holding this 27,000 area. Oh yeah, happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you guys. And all that kind of fun stuff. If you're Star Wars fans, if not, whatever. All right, so we are making a higher low here, so that's pretty good. That's a defense from the bear or from the bulls. Now we are back atop this little consolidation range at about 28.5. I do like that. Looks pretty good. Nothing really on the weekly yet. We'll see how this week closes here in a couple of days. Let's see. So yeah, above 27, man, still the same thing. Back in the mix. Nothing's really changed on Mama Bear. I do like that we're getting back over the 21, and all the slopes still look pretty decent on the EMAs. Let's ratchet down a little. Yeah, I like this too. This is really solidifying, that 27,000 handle as major support. Man, they are battling it out here, the Bulls and the Bears, when you're right around 26. That doesn't happen too often. And usually one dominates the other. Most of the time, they're never both above 26. So that's pretty interesting. They're both hovering right there. Again, it's just really leaning on the last handful of videos that there is a large move incoming from this price action. It does just really feel that way. We did get some pretty good movements in traditionals, which we'll go over there and check those out here momentarily. Doesn't look like crypto is going to have much to add on it. Just holding 27K, same shit, different day. Major resistance is right there at about 31,000. Kind of just filling this out up here at the top. Man, no momentum on the daily either. Just flat ass Momo. Future's not really doing nothing. Let's see what GBDC looks like. Little gap fill right there. Another gap up here on the weekly up at 25-ish. Yeah, nothing really new on this either. Just kind of struggling here in this little range, which we can kind of box off now because this definitely does seem to be getting respected a lot. So kind of range bound until we're not. So nothing really to add to that. Bid-O kind of looks a little sloppy here. A little dividend payment recently. Yeah, we don't use this for analysis. I'm probably just going to take this off. There is options on here. So you can trade options on Bid-O. I got like some call spreads on there. I made some trades to play this gap fill here. So that one worked out nicely. And I do have some all the way up here at this gap fill too. And I'm way out in time. I think I'm like 240 days out or something like that. So that's just a kind of hodl long-term type position. Let's go to Unicorn Shirt Man. What is he doing? Just lollygagging between all the EMAs here, just right on the mama between the 55, 21. Really nothing to add from last video, it looks like. Still kind of no follow through after this engulfing candle, a little tweezer top action. Yes, this would traditionally be like a white one or a red candle, but I have like some special color stuff on there. So it does appear to be green. But that is a tweezer top and doji indecision right at the base. I mean, there's just slow mo action here, just nothing really to add until it really gets back above like 1920 or back below about 1800. I mean, it's pretty much a nothing burger at this point, just sideways as F. Let's see. Futures kind of showing the same thing. A lot of resistance at that mid 1900s area. Let's go to Litecoin. Litecoin still trapped between the 200 and the shorter term moving averages, just grinding down this trend line. That doesn't look super sexy for bulls on Litecoin, to be fair. Barely hanging on to this box here. Let's zoom in just a tad. Yeah, man, one of these like 458s, which is about an 8 hour, roughly. If you don't have custom time frames, you can just use an 8 hour. It's pretty much the same. But yeah, we get an open and close below 84. Probably can look to test down to low 70s and above 91.20. Maybe even this little trend line right here. If we just kind of keep going sideways into it, about mid-May, we'll just bump into it naturally. I could not imagine that this won't get resolution by the end of the month. Just dribbling down. This one actually looks pretty heavy, to be fair. This is one of the worst looking charts. I would just call this one pretty much bearish below 20 bucks. I don't like this dribbling down. You got all the EMAs pointing down now. I mean, the best case scenario is this is probably right at a 618. Yeah, it is, right? Sitting right on the 618 right here from this move. So, man, anything back below 19 bucks, getting comfy below there. We're probably going and testing this little local low right here. Ripple Me Nipples is doing jack shit, just staying inside of this range. You can look left here and clearly see there's a pretty serial range there. Let's zoom out to the weekly. Yeah, and it's real easy to see on the weekly. We don't need to clutter the chart up more. You can see just kind of hovering up here for a couple months. Now we're just hovering up here for a month and a half or so. We do have higher lows in. We did not get a higher high, though. That's like the biggest concern about this weekly chart is we couldn't even get a close above this 53-cent level on 4 attempts on a weekly. So that's kind of shitty. It's not my favorite setup. But it is making higher highs. I'm sorry, higher lows. And as long as it's above kind of this 40-cent range, it's okay. And the previous support is now resistance at that 48-cent spot. XLM, man, same shit. It's okay above about 9 pennies. Below that, watch a lay. Tron. Man, Tron's actually been kind of rallying, which is interesting because it's been sideways as F for a long time. And it's actually getting some pretty decent movement. We get a weekly close above like 7 pennies. That starts to really open the door up to test this little local high around 8.5 or so. But man, very interesting that Tron is trying to break out here while everything else is fairly quiet. Yeah, I mean, I like this chart. This looks pretty good. Mega consolidation. Finally getting some breakout. Would like to see the bulls take the reign on DMI. And by that, I mean them getting in the power zone, which is above 26. Dot. Yeah, not great. Not super great. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely not my favorite chart. I mean, if I was forced to trade it, I guess above about 515 or so, it's okay. But you got this weekly engulfing doji, and we're getting follow through now. So what would change my mind a little bit about this is if this candle, because we still have 3 days, if this candle flipped and closed back up above like 620 or something, 650, that would look pretty good for the bulls. It's a very similar pattern to Bitty Bits here with the engulfing. Kind of just right above the 21 EMA. I mean, technically, you have to give the bulls a little bit of credit. I mean, they haven't been over the 21 EMA literally since the all-time high at $3. So that was 1,000 million% ago. Let's zoom in a tad. Let's get rid of this line because it's pretty much obsolete now. It is just sitting atop kind of all this business, just real tough charts, man. Just real sideways, real boring. That's why I really think that this move out of this consolidation is going to be gargantuan. Like, I would not be surprised to see either new local lows, like below these swing lows, like late last year, early this year, or if we just like take out, look at Bitcoin, some new local highs that we haven't seen since probably 21 or early 22. So definitely seems to be in the cards. I mean, look at this. Talk about consolidation. This has literally been a year now. Link, let me say that again. Link has been sideways for a year. Literally. You're like, well, look at these big candles. No, this is sideways. Yeah, it's 40%. That's not that much in crypto. And look at this consolidation, man. I mean, talk about that's wild. Let's look at the cheat code volume profile. Yeah, look at that fat node right there. So this is a pretty easy play here. It's range bound until it ain't. And we've been talking about that for a long time on this. It's been the same probably since I've restarted doing the videos, like 6 months ago or whatever. Just sideways is F. And we're in the very middle of the range. I mean, ain't shit to do with this. For me, I want to see at least a week. If we zoom out to the weekly, I want to see at least a week open and close above these ranges. So that puts us at about 875 or 575 roughly. And we get an open and close weekly. On either side of that, it's going to probably run for the box. And you can measure boxes and ranges. You just kind of stack it on top. So that would be up here at like $12 to the upside. And on the downside, that would be roughly $4. So, get rid of this. We don't need any more boxes. Yeah, so range bound as hell. A year sideways. Let's see here. And I guess really a lot of stuff has kind of been like a year sideways. I mean, even this, look, EOS. Let's jump back to BTC real quick because it's kind of in the same boat. I mean, May is right here. It's a little bit more violent, not as pronounced, some of these altcoins, but you get the idea. EOS, super, super sideways. I mean, doesn't look great by itself. Above 90 cents, it's okay. I don't know. Getting below $1 doesn't look very good to me on this, on EOS. BCH, sideways as hell. Just ping-ponging on this 21 EMA. Range bound as F. Looks okay above like 110-ish. But really until it gets that open and close weekly below like this 120 or above 140, it's just range bound to all hell. BSV is just saying, I'm dying slowly. No one cares about me. Craig is crying in the corner. We're actually getting close to breaking down on this. And for me, probably having to bail on my trade on BSV. We start getting a couple open and closes below, even in 32 range is probably not too sexy. XMR sideways as hell. I mean, most of these haven't done shit since we did the last video. There's not really any new information. Zcash, just sideways as hell. I mean, you can clearly see some of these support and resistance levels when looking left. We got plenty of candles that have built all that structure. Oh, Dashy Poo, just kind of hanging out on the tops of this consolidation. So it doesn't look terrible. Is this a 618 right here? It looks like it. Yeah, it's close. So at about $45, as long as it's about $45 and up, you have to give the bulls a little bit of credit. Doji, the doggy, the Doge. People call it all these crazy things. It is Doge. If you don't know, it is Doge. Oh man, just barely holding on here. We have met the trend line here on May the 4th. So will the force be with Doge here? Possibly. Very tough to say though. Above 7.5 cents, it's okay. It's been that way for the last few weeks of videos or month, really. Above about that mid sevens, it's all right. Very just blah moving averages. I mean, they can't really go any more sideways than they are. except for just longer. Oh, I like this reaction. Okay, so here is stacks. This is an ordinals thing. We were talking about this on the last video, that as long as we kind of keep up around where we're at here and stay on a higher low from this swing low at about 50, mid 50s, then we'd probably be okay. And I do like this candle yesterday cutting through the EMAs and also the trend line. And now we're getting a little bit of sell pressure to kind of test to see if this is actual real breakout. This actually looks pretty decent above 74 cents. I kind of like that one. TrueFi, man, squeezed even more so between the short and long term moving averages. Above 5, 4, it's okay. Really needs to clear that 6.5 level though. Oh no, it broke down. How could you? Let's erase this line. Don't need it. Little hammer kind of candle, getting a little push through. Nothing too crazy though. Maybe above 7.5 pennies. It looks okay. This one got real excited real fast, so just taking a little consolidation break. That's all. That's all. Let's use the little cheat code volume profile. Yeah, not really much up here. Fat noted about 11 cents, which makes sense. It's close to the middle of this box range. So not too surprising there. And also the struggle is very real at that 11-cent handle. So below 11 cents, it can still be bullish, but below 11 cents, the bulls don't really have the Momo yet. Uh, Not quite, not all the way. Oh my gosh, I'm putting on too many volume indicators. Not quite, but this does look pretty damn good. Let's measure this, see if we're staying above the 382. Yeah, we're above the 382. We can ratchet that down just slightly to this swing at about 8 cents. So as long as this is holding about 8 pennies, it's actually a pretty constructive chart. Hex. Oh, look at this fat super doji right here on the 200, closing by the 21. This is a freaking 80% tail to wick candle. That is massive. So this is solidifying that this 5 cent level is likely the floor. Ooh, I do like this. I like DMI. The bulls getting into the power zone. I like this setup on the RSI. Man, this is actually one of my one of the better charts that I've seen so far. I do like this. This and Tron are standing out to me. VeChain is not standing out. It is dying. It is barely about to hold on to this 2 cent level. Already off. Whoops, wrong way. Already off about 24% from attempting to break out of the range. Turned into false breakout, fast test to the other side of range. Here we are now. Is this it? Are we ready to go back in the middle of the box at about 2.3 cents? Bulls better do it now. Do not let this go below 2 cents, or we probably go back into this cluster at minimum. Why is this box lighting up when I do that? I don't know, whatever. Adam. Oh, Adam, you little son of a bitch. Back below. This is actually kind of bearish below 1125. I don't really like this. You could argue this descending triangle measured move conservatively would be new fresh lows almost. So yeah, I mean, it's in a real precarious spot. It's like it doesn't look great below about that 1120s area, but it also is just sitting right atop the consolidation from late last year. So same shit, different day, kind of. Osmos is dribbling to death. I mean, is this thing just going to dribble slowly to zero? I don't know. It's a pretty ugly ass chart. Last line of sand is about 69 cents. Toncoin actually looked okay for a hot minute. And now it's just been selling off every single day. We're sitting right around the 200, and there is actually a lot of support right here at about $2. You start getting comfy below $2. Ooh, not great. That trend line is broke, so that's why we're erasing it. It has been violated. But yeah, below $2, man, this thing starts to look real shitty. All right, let's go to majors because there really wasn't anything changed in crypto land. Except we did get another. Okay, so one thing I do want to make a point on: we did get another rally from banking crisis news on Bitcoin, which I think bodes well for this cycle, as long as it's not a flash crash. If it's kind of a slow bleed, kind of like 2000, I think that'll bode well for crypto. Anyway, ES, we've been talking about it for a hot minute. 42, that 4100, mid 4100 handle, mega uber super duper resistance. Look where we're at now. If you've been following along, 4080-ish was the major resistance level for a long time that we finally breached over here in early April. Looked like it's building a nice chart. Get this, looks real good. Oh, just kidding, sells off again. This market is just ripping people up, man. Up, down, up, down. It's really good for trading. You got a lot of opportunity to kind of get in and out, scalp, trade ranges, all that fun stuff. Um, but man, 4080, now we're back hovering on it. We are finding support around 4080 so far. That is the line in the sand to me. We get a probably 1 day open and close below this little swing low, which is, let's see what that is, about 4070. Even I think even 4080 does it, man. Let's look at the 3 hour. Let's zoom in a little bit. No, okay, so it is 4070. So open and close below 4070 would really trigger the move to the downside, probably to about just shy of 3950. Probably the 39 handle, 3900 handle in general, with major support at 39 flat. So not looking too great. Look at NASDAQ, rejected off of here. Is this a double top? Possibly. I wouldn't think that until we lost 12.7 again. Then we'd probably go test this trend line, get caught a little, and then have to reassess. But man, this 13.3 area, it's been the same shit on too many videos, man. For over a month, that's been the words out of my mouth. Oh, look, Dow is back in the sub range here. So we have like little horizontals marking different ranges and zones. We're now below the 33.5. We do have major support still at 32.8, but we are now engaged in the zone right below this previous one. So the new price range zone is 33.5 to 32.8. Kind of heavy there for sure. Russell getting a little slappeth. Had a nice rally yesterday. I didn't even know yesterday was the Fed meeting. They did raise again, and they're talking about bank problems, blah, 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 blah. I did finally see an article talking about like we are in recession. Like they're finally kind of admitting it, which is very interesting. I've done a lot of analysis on that from past cycles and like just looking at news articles from, around that time. And usually mainstream media doesn't call anything a recession until it's like really close to the end. They try to pretend and fake and fake it and fake it until the very, very last minute. I have a chart somewhere on that I'm working on. I've been working on it for a while. I need to just get that thing out. Yeah, I don't know where it is right now, but yeah, it's just kind of interesting chart that shows it's like, man, when you see the majority of mainstream media actually calling stuff recessions and not changing the definitions like they did a lot of times in the last year. They changed the CPI inflation calculation like 4 times in a year. That's normal, right? They also changed the definition of recession. Well, because, that's what you got to do. It doesn't fit into your line. You just change the definition. Duh. Come on. Anyway, though, this is looking pretty heavy. We've been concerned about this chart for a long time, that it's showing that there's still weakness in banks. Here it is coming to fruition. I told you so. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. No, I hate when people do that. Like, we talked about this on the channel 2 years ago. And it's like, 2 years ago? Like, get the shit out of here, man. What? Get out of here. But anyway, this was our only concern, that it's kind of was signaling that the regional banking issue wasn't resolved yet. Russell holds, in the mid-teens of the index in regional banking and financials. And then the other kind of clue was that something was off was the VIX and the futures had very much divergence between them. It looks like they've tightened up a little today, this week. They were like $2 to $3 off, which you don't see that very often. One thing that I am noticing too now is VVIX is over 100. That is the watch the F out zone. We talk about that a lot on the show. Is this just going to get caught in the low end of this range again? Possibly. I mean, this is definitely a 1680 to about 1740s is definitely this little range here. But one could kind of call this an H pattern. So just yeah, on the weekly for sure. Interesting spot kind of coming into this trend line cross. Very curious to see if this gets escalated. What was some of the banks? I can't remember. Pan West or some crap like that. Let's see if we can find it. Pac West, maybe. I bet we'll be able to tell by the chart. Oh yeah, look, here it is. Absolute obliteration from the start, sideways sell off. Man, just shareholder death, dude. 90% drops in less than 2 months. So nothing is guaranteed in markets, if y'all didn't know. Actually, I'm just kidding. There is one thing. You will take losses. That is the one guarantee in trading or investing, whatever. They're the same to me. Hate when people try to separate those two. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, no, you're still trading. It's just longer term trading. Well, that's investing. Whatever. I'm just splitting hairs, just being stupid old man. Anyway, Russell, yeah, just getting dragged on. This looks pretty heavy below 1740s. Not nice. It could not get above that 1800 level comfortably and just kept selling off. Dow Jones selling off too, rallying right up to the underbelly of this box. Sell off time. DAX barely holding on back below 15,780. Probably go back into this stupid range. Great. Shanghai's trying to break out. This is getting a little bit noisy here. Look at this frequency. Man. The other thing that was kind of interesting and giving us a little bit of clue is how come the regional banking sectors never looked good, right? It didn't look good. We were talking about that last week or the other day or whatever it was that and the Russell, they were showing that this shit isn't done yet. We didn't even have bulls couldn't even get close to 26 and then got rejected immediately pretty much. And so here we are getting some sell off. It looks pretty nasty. I think even the Fed or Jamie Dimon or something said, "Oh yeah, man, this is kind of bad." It's like, "Oh, now you admit it." So that means we're probably closer to the end than the beginning, right? Because it's already been selling off a lot. If you kind of like look back, let's go back over here. We're off the highs like 15% with as big as a retracement down to like what was like 25, 26%. So interesting. This could be very much a saucer basing pattern too. So it's really hard to tell, man. This market is being a little biatch. For traders out there, though, you love this shit. VIX bouncing. Look at this little fake dump fest. We can probably erase these because it doesn't matter anymore. Little swing highs. You only can have so many drawings too, so might as well clean those up. Did hold for a second, broke down, but now look at this snap quick. VIX loves to do that. And look at this. VVIX is above 100, just barely though. If this opens and closes above 100 tomorrow, I would be real concerned that something will be happening over the weekend, like for real skis, man. So keep an eye on that for the close tomorrow. God dang, Earl. False breakout. Test other sides of range quickly. This one tested real far to the other side of range. Look at this. Right to this trend line cross, though. Got bid up hard off of that. Man, this is brutal. Like I said, I haven't looked at charts in a little bit. What is this? 5 o'clock on Wednesday on the reopening of futures. It just dump fest, dude. Wow. Let's look at the weekly. Nasty, dude. Gap's been filled and then some. This is a funky pattern. I'd say this is pretty bearish below 72.50 again. Let's go look at OVX. It's the volatility index for oil. Still relatively low, huh? With all that. Interesting. Nat Gas said, no, suck it. Just kidding. We're going to sell off more. filled this gap already, closing below it. Man, this looks like it wants to go fucking lower. It's probably going to go into the upper dollar range. This does not look good. What would trigger that to be high probability? Getting back below 210. That's been the line in the sand for way too many of these videos. Bonds trying to rally, but they've just been sideways as hell. Same here. We are. Oh, notes are trying to break out. Are we going to back off? Is the Fed going to say, oh, just kidding? We're going to chill now. Dude, so much sideways. Euro back up bumping up against the trend line on negative divergence, though, on both oscillators. Oh, shit. Look at gold, y'all. Very nice. Barely holding on. Had a beautiful close on Tuesday. Getting back above 2K. I like that a lot for the gold bulls or for the PM bulls. Let's go to the weekly. Oh, yeah, that looks good. We close like this above 2040. Man, if this can close above 2040, this would look real good on the weekly. And that's really solidifying $2,000 as major, major support. So very nice for gold. Same for silver, man. Looking good. Trying to take off. Hook and go, man. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like an inverted H pattern. I don't know what that's called. Inverted H. IH. Damn, looks good. Let's see if we can get this weekly to close above 2630. That would look very, very sexy. And just continue to keep building this chart, man. I really like the silver chart. It's like definitely one of my more favorite charts. The only issue I see, because we like to take both sides here, is that maybe DMI should show a little bit Momo. A little bit Momo. Platinum breaking the trend line. I mean, it's still got major good supported in the low 1,000 handle. Really needs to clear back above 1060. GDX, nice pompage. Like it, love it. All right, I think that's it for that. Let's go to blockchain stuff. Oh, I don't like that. Did they miss earnings? Oh, they have earnings actually today after the bell. Ooh, what will Coin do? Will Coin make a lot of money? Have we seen earnings on any of the other guys yet? Let's go look. Yeah, we had good earnings. Oh, great earnings on MicroStrategy while it just kind of flags out up here. That's not too terrible. I don't like this company, but it looks good above 280. Can't be mad about that. Riot, Green. They got earnings. Looks like most of their earnings are later this month. A couple of them, Coin, MicroStrategy. Yeah, Huts are next week too. So let's go look at our. Oh, let's go, baby! They just had earnings. They killed it. Nice. Oh, I like this. This is going to bode well for my long overstock position. Finally got filled in this little range. Got tested a little bit, but I'm just holding until it breaks 17. I like this, breaking out of the trend line after good earnings. Get that out of the way. Not too shabby. Let's go to cores. Man, cores is just chilling, man. If Bitcoin goes back over 30, this bitch is probably going to 80 cents, man. It's probably going to fill this gap if that is the strength of the bulls can stay. Let's go to our Bitcoin miner index. Looks fine, just consolidating. Nothing wrong here. Only concerned below like 330. So it looks pretty good. Let's go look at weed stonks. 66%. What? This is trash. Who cares? Whoa, look at this. Look at some weed pumpage a little bit. Let's get some that aren't so shitty. Oh, snap. Look at that. Miss earnings. Let's rally. Who cares? That's why you never know about earnings. A little rally, but these little rallies happen all the time. Counter trend, liquidation kind of breaks, and then they just fucking sell off. But, I mean, I guess it's noteworthy that there's a little bit of action in here while the market's selling off hard. Oh, my God. Look at this. Canopy growth. That was one of the big ones, too, that everybody loved. Look at this. Came out in 14. Holy crap. We're below the IPO when it came out when weed first went legal in Colorado almost 10 years ago. Wow. We're literally below that by a good chunk. Last line in the sand is $1 on this thing, which, hey, isn't that bad a risk to reward if you want a DCA right here? I might actually consider that because it's only about 20% And I mean, you could probably look for $2 at least on this at the bottom of this consolidation here. Interesting. I'm going to throw that on the watch list. And blah, 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 crap. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Ouch. No, earnings sucked there. All right, SMG. Let's go look at this. And Village Farm. Nah, a lot of earnings coming out next week. Nothing really in there. Let's go top trade. Let's see what Apple's doing. Apple's just kind of chilling. Let's delete that. Clean this chart up a little bit. Never got any selling pressure through here. Looks like it has earnings after the close, too. Uh-oh. That's probably going to make or break the market, man. Apple and Microsoft have been, like, holding up a lot of the NASDAQ. Faux show. Oh, look, earnings. Epic. Let's just rally freaking 7%. Okay. And like I said earlier, we actually are seeing the Fed and some mainstream media outlets admitting to recession. I mean, that hasn't happened yet since we've sold off. Even when we were down 30%, like on Russell and stuff, they never said that. Or 2 negative GDP quarters in a row. They just changed the definition. So now they're actually kind of working its way in there. So that's an interesting shift. Like I said before, too, I studied a lot of the news articles and the media flow back in the other cycles, like the Great Financial Crisis and .com, and they usually didn't even start declaring recession until the very, very end of it, even though a lot of other people were like, dude, this shit's fucked. Like, no, it's fine. You know, y'all all know the meme. This looks actually pretty good. I like this as a basing pattern with a nice little W in there. This looks really good above like 58 cents for Micron, just a random one. I'm kind of just randomly flying through shit right now. Like I said, I haven't been at the computer really for any length, man, what the hell? Any good length amount of time in the last couple weeks. Just been doing some living out in nature. It's been great, man. I highly recommend that too. If you're feeling a little burnt out, man, just turn off the freaking screens, dude. Go outside. It's great, man. Take a hike. It's awesome. Very, very relaxing. All right, let's see. I think that's probably it, really. Let's go look at some Clown World stocks. Dash. Ooh, is Dash bumping and running right here? Man, if Dash doesn't open and close above $65, this thing probably is going to almost 80. So that might be a trade there coming up. Let's see what Apple earnings do after the bell today. That'll be a good clue. Airbnb. Oh, poor Tesla. Oh, looks like it's going to go fill this gap down here. We got a pretty hefty gap. Oh, look, we're already kind of in it. And here's another gap. It's a gap to the gap. It's double gap. We got the gap to about 146. Not surprising. I mean, look how much it struggled to even get and stay above 200. Now we got all the slopes back down. Momentum is pretty much fully bearish on this sub 175. Neo, god dang, dude, brutal. EVs are the future, though, dude. Decent support, or actually very good support in the 7 handle, so not bad. Nikola, scam. Oh, thank God, dude. Can this thing go to 0 already and get stop? Why isn't it delisted sometimes? It's like it's a clear bona fide scam, and it's just still sitting here trading, and people are buying the dip like idiots, thinking this shit's just gonna rally really hard. No, it's a scam, dude. It ain't coming back. There's like tens of thousands of things to trade. Like, get out of here. Oh, but earnings are coming up and they're going to report massive revenues. Well, okay, cool. They still scammed everybody. Even if they do that and it pops doubles or whatever, like garbage, it'll just get faded anyway. Look, rally, fade, rally to 200, fade. And you see this a lot in coins or stocks that are just total bullshit and they get found out by the market. You pretty much only can get rallies to the 200 daily and they just keep getting sold off. Like even this one right here, the bulls tried to do it here, and they couldn't even get past the 55 before selling off. Garbage. You know, I'm taking this shit off my chart. I don't even want to see it anymore. Get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here. Fizz. Man, I like this chart. This is cool. This is actually really good. I like this above $45. I like this opening EMAs. The only thing we need now is the DMI. That's the last line or the last marker for this to go pretty freaking bull mode. Looks yeah, I like this chart for sure. Earnings coming up. When is that? Later this month. Looks like it's earnings season. So weekly open and close above 54. Watch out, bears. It's time. Robin Hood has been stealing everybody's money. They got earnings coming out. I don't know if that's true, but they're given to the poor or something, I guess. Shit chart. I don't like this chart. Very much nothing to really see here except it's in a confusion sideways chop fest 3000 for pretty much a year now, between $8 and $10. Cool. Till it's out of there between 8 and 10, whatever. Look at this giant descending triangle on, oh my god, come on, go away. Look at this giant descending triangle on carbon global bullcrap. Look at this. Let's go ahead and take a conservative measured move. Although I have to freaking do it properly. Apparently I can't click on things correctly. And I'm just adding stuff that doesn't need to be on here. Well, that's just lovely. Man, measured move on that is 25 bucks. Or all-time highs, pretty much. Screw this bitch. I can't believe everyone fell for this stupid chick. Oh, I'm so amazing. I just buy the things that everybody else is already buying. All right, wrapping this bitch up. It's already been too long. Mama Bear, no really new info. Above 27 looks fine. Really need to clear 31. We start doing that. Get ready for pump season on a lot of altcoins. We've had some already, like AI, Doge, and a couple of those pump super hard. But overall, we really need Bitcoin to get over 30K again to kind of reignite some of them fires, them bullish momos. But really nothing to add from the last week or so. Just consolidating still. Pretty lame. The only thing that's actually done something is the majors. So hurry up and wait. Hey, sometimes just waiting and sitting on your hands is the trade. And I know it's hard as hell to do. You want to be engaged. You want to try to make tendies. But sometimes you just got to say, F it, turn it off, set some alerts for range breaks, and just wait till they trigger, because sometimes you'll just do dumb shit too when you look too much and overanalyze. There's a good saying called paralysis by analysis. So it's just like, or analyst, it's something like that, but it's paralysis by analysis, and you pretty much just analyze shit too much to where you can't even like make decisions anymore. So don't do that. Look at it, it's fine, move on. It's not doing anything, no new info, just move on. So same with ETH, same shit, different day. 1920-ish, 1820-ish, $100 range. Get out of it. Let's go. Let's do something. 1480 or 4080, sorry. 4080 is now being tested as we speak. That was the major resistance zone. The bulls had plenty of time to take the reins in the 4100 handle, which they do need to clear 4200. Great meme number too, right? And you can see that we've been talking about this ad nauseum from all these candles really close. All the tops of the bodies are pretty much within 50 to 100 points. And until we can really clear that and solidify that, it's just sideways for now. And here we are testing the major former resistance, now support at 4080. We start getting comfy below there. We're probably going to test at least mid 3900s. And with the banking crisis seeming to resume, we do have Russell agreeing with that, the KREs, the banking regionals. And I think that's it, man. As long as this can hold, about 1700, it's okay, with major support at like 1680. Man, we start getting below 1680, probably an open and close on a 3 hour below 1680 on Russell would be extremely bearish. Now, it does look really bad right now, but ultimately, look, let's zoom out to the weekly. Let's go look back to May, right where we're at now, which is about here. And look at that. We're only 3% down from a year ago, y'all. So really haven't done shit in a year. Very boring. While everyone keeps saying it's recession, everything's going to die. I mean, I swear, if I get another stupid YouTube video that's like, doom, recession, it's happening, Everything's done. It's like my feed is just constantly about that shit. I don't even really watch that stuff. It's just they're trying to force it on me. It's like, no, dude. I watch price action. I don't give a shit what those news outlets said or what articles people read or whatever that crap. Watch, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. Anyway, before I go on a major rant about that, which I tend to do sometimes, but that's okay. Just kind of hold on here for Russell Bulls, but getting below 1680 for any time more than a couple days would look very, very bearish. So, I almost want to lean bullish because just sentiment alone, like everyone I talk to, and I know this is anecdotal as hell, but everyone I talk to is just so bearish, doom, gloom, selling, rates up, mortgages, insurance is up, everything sucks. And it's just like, well, really? We haven't done shit in a year. It's like, what's so bad? Doesn't mean that it's not going to sell off or nothing, but am kind of like leaning towards that. If we want to like zoom back into history, here's super sideways action for a year, resolve to the upside. Super sideways action for a year, upside. Not quite a year. Here's a lovely H pattern right here. There's a textbook one. And that's '08, sideways for a while. Then it did fall out, but look how fast it happens. It's like, it's like less than 3 months usually, unless it was '08. I'm sorry, the '00s. 2000 was brutal. It just bled out for freaking 2 years. That was mean. Let's erase that. We don't need that on there. But I guess technically this thing did go sideways for about not quite a year, about 8 months before resolution. But all you got to do is wait for resolution, man. Price is going to tell us what's up eventually. It's almost there, just not quite. All right, guys, much love. I'll do another show tomorrow for Friday's normal scheduled programming. Sorry I missed y'all yesterday. Just decided to have an extra day at the beach with the kiddo. Was already there. I was like, screw it. We'll just hang out here. I am trying to figure out some kind of way to do streams while I'm on the road. I do like to travel a whole lot in the summer, so that is going to become an issue sometimes. And so I'm looking at maybe buying a little kind of beater laptop just to kind of do those. I'm not able to do any streams or stuff from my phone, unfortunately. So, and you can't even post ideas or anything on your phone, which kind of sucks. TradingView, come on, fix that, please. So I'm going to try to figure something out for that. In the meantime, though, happy Thursday. Much love. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow morning. I hope you'll have a beautiful, wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Z-Rex with No Noise, signing off. May the 4th be with you. Peace.